All right, in this module, we're going to be looking at potential action zones, and we also refer to this sometimes as price action zones. Now, what this means is this is going to be areas in the market that we identify for high probability setups. Now, in the first part of this advanced training program, we discussed having a bias or creating a bias, deciding in which direction you want to trade. And in the second step, we're going to be looking at areas where we want this market to play out for the setups to occur, for the market to reverse or to continue. And there's a few concepts we're going to discuss in this section. And the first one is liquidity. And now we've already obviously discussed liquidity in the bias section, but it is such an important concept that we do use it throughout all the phases in our trading plan. So we're going to be looking at areas of liquidity and mark them as potential action zones. We're also going to be discussing order blocks. Now, order blocks is a concept that the naming comes from the inner circle trader Michael Huddleston, but it's not a concept unique to him. These order blocks are very similar to supply and demand zones. So if you're familiar with supply and demand zones, you can also call it that. And even way before Sam Seiden came along with supply and demand zones, I saw traders trading it and referring to these areas as institutional levels. So whatever you call it doesn't really matter, but we're going to be, as long as you can see what's happening in the market, the price action behind what's happening, and how to identify these zones. We're also going to be looking at breaker blocks. Now, this is a concept I think pretty unique to the inner circle trader, but we're going to discuss the price action, the FX price action take on breaker blocks. We're also going to be discussing flip zones. Now, flip zones is a concept fairly unique to FX price action, although variations might occur in other communities or by other traders. But we got a pretty unique view on flip zones. And we're also going to be discussing Fibonacci levels and confluence, not just Fibonacci retracements, but also extensions. And all this is going to be part of the potential action zones, which will be the second part of our trading plan. Now, we'll put this all together during the end of this training program. But for now, we're just going to look at how to identify these areas where we're going to be looking for the high probability setups. And in the end, once you put all these steps together, then you'll be able to find high probability setups or setups with a high reward ratio. So let's jump into these concepts.